right here on Real Radio 104.1. We are your nightcap of comedy to give you what you need to get you guys through it, my friends. I'm your host tonight, Mr. James John, aka the former host of a TV show that we shall not mention. That's right. And we got in the studio with me two funny, hilarious brothers of mine who do comedy everywhere. And if you haven't seen us in Orlando, shame on you. Go to our social medias, check us out, man. If you're not following us on social media, y'all need to go to Facebook, Instagram, and you can go to YouTube, subscribe, like, comment, and share this hilarity. First up, we got the man that has a million nicknames. First, he was a Godfather of Orlando comedy. Then he was Thanos for a while. Then he was Baby Idris Elba. But this week, it's his birthday week. That's right. Give it up for my man, Ken Miller in the house. Ken, how you feel, brother?
I'm good, man. Tomorrow, my birthday, dude. I'm
Come on.
not a big birthday person, dog, but I'm happy, man. I'm not one of them black people though that be like, man, I ain't even think I was gonna live to be where I grew up at, man. Don't nobody live. No, dog, I knew I was gonna get here. I'm dying at 91. 91,
Bro.
I got 91. When I die, it's gonna be the extraction 17. That's how many extractions they gonna make by the time I'm dead, bro.
That is hilarious.
Fast and the Furious 52.
Fast and the Furious 52, bro. Like, that's how long I'm gonna be alive.
Idris Elba Jr. is gonna be in it. You know?
Yeah, real, man. Hobbs and Shaw 17.
Bro,
they just bad boy movies, bro.
Hey, Hobbs and Shaw 17. They just playing checkers outside Denny, talking crap about each other. You wasn't never good, no way.
Yeah.
Where that waitress at?
Yeah, right.
You ordered that orange juice a long time ago. I did, right? I did.
I'm excited.
We're playing chess.
I don't got nothing planned. I tell my wife I'm cool with going to Kobe's, taking the kids to Kobe's, and we can just chill and see what that butt do. But other than that, bro, I got James. I just don't. I don't know, man. I've never really. It's funny because I've celebrated birthdays.
Love it.
I don't go look. I ain't like, yo. So next week I give you my best ones. Okay, my 45th.
Okay.
Was the cigar party. So that was one of my favorite birthdays.
Mm-hmm.
My 30th birthday, I moved here and I was hanging out with one of my homeboys, Angel, and dude, it was one of my best birthdays. But Miguel, you'll know this. My 21st birthday in the military. I hit 21 in the military, bro. I was throwing up outside of a cab, door open, just throwing up the whole street, bro. My 21st birthday when I was in the army, they was like, boy, we about to get you towed up. I said, let's do it. So those probably my 3 favorite birthdays, man.
Mine's always been low key. I'm like you. I've never been a birthday dude. Mine just falls on a weird day, like Cinco de Mayo. But never.
You got it, but you got give me three that really stand out though.
I'm trying, but because I'm stubborn about it. Like they'll be like, "Baby, let's celebrate." Nah, I don't want to. I just want to order pizza. Just y'all can all come over here. Y'all don't even got to get me gifts. I don't need a big hurrah. So I can't even tell you. Well, let me see this. I'm 40. I'm gonna be 48. I say 45. 45 because my kids have been working a little bit and they felt so proud that they were able to buy me actual gifts. Not just like, something that's like $20. They went all out and got me gifts of things that they know I love. So I'll go with 45 was the one I really love, man. Shout out to my kids for making their pop feel special.
Yeah, why 45, man? We both had a good 45.
Because usually 45's that one.
Because your kids are the black kids. Like, I didn't think my daddy was going to make it that long.
Oh, how you
long? 45. Oh, Lord.
Yeah, man.
Miguel, I know he about to introduce you, but when he do, give me your 3 favorite birthdays.
Y'all know who we're talking about, man. The man who's been here since the beginning of Real Laughs. He helped start off Celerity. Miguel Colon Jr.
I'll give you the first one. I'll give you isn't one of my favorite birthdays, but it's one of my most memorable birthdays. I was 28 years old. It was my 28th birthday. I was working at Portobello at downtown Disney, and I requested the wrong day off, and so thought I had my birthday off, and got called, and they were like, "No, bro, you working." Like the day before, I was there the day before trying to get somebody to pick up my shift. I could not get anybody to pick up my shift, and I had to work a double that day, and the plumbing backed up, and it was like popping out of the drains in the kitchen.
Oh,
like
they had to shut down.
Water and everything. No, they didn't shut down. I've been there with a hood shut off, and they didn't shut down. Horrible day. poop water everywhere. Well, all my friends thought I was gonna have the day off, so they still went ahead with my birthday party. It was at Wekiva Springs. Man, it was like 30
Ah!
people. They were barbecuing. They went down the river. I got home to my buddy Godfrey's house at like 1 o'clock at night. They were all still there, tore up. And I walked in, there wasn't even like a hey.
Happy
I walked in,
birthday.
everybody was tore up partying. They were like, hey man, today was wild, huh? And I was like, I wasn't there. They barbecued, hung out,
Damn.
because they had planned it all. And then I was like, I can't make it. And they were like, oh man. And stupidly in my head, I was like, man, I feel bad. I just ruined all their plans. I didn't ruin their plans. They went ahead and partied.
They went
I
to
had a
party
banner up.
without you.
They had a happy birthday Miguel banner up. I wasn't even there. This was before big social media. They weren't pictures. They were just like, hey man, it was a banner. We had carrot cake like you love, you know?
Hey, Miguel, they made it on a dot matrix printer too.
Yeah.
That's funny. Oh, here's something I forgot about my birthday. I do the same thing. It's always low key. I always get pizza and I always go see a Marvel movie because like the past 15 years on May 5th or that weekend, there's always a brand new Marvel movie. And I remember this because one year it sucked because it was Spider-Man 3 that came out. So I went and saw that. Man.
Almost ended yourself.
Yeah,
Well,
pretty
time
much.
to go. You
Dog,
know?
That
dog,
movie was horrible, man.
we took a man. We were so excited. It's one of them movies where the trailer gets you.
Yep.
Yeah.
We took a PTO day. Me, my boy Angel, my boy Proctor. We took a PTO day, and that movie was terrible.
All of us, we
Terrible.
were like, it's got Venom. It's
Venom?
got
What we've been
Venom. We
waiting
were all like,
for.
oh
We've been
my
waiting for
God.
this, yeah.
And the first two Spider-Mans were so good at that time. They were
Mhm.
so good that you were like,
They
oh
were.
man, this is great.
It's gonna be awesome.
My
Then
40th birthday was a cool one for me. My 40th birthday, I went out. And that's the first time I booked that little European tour that I did. Booked it
yeah,
myself. Little theaters, guys, 50 seaters, 100 seaters, but all little theaters, comedy clubs. I was like in Amsterdam doing comedy at comedy clubs, and I booked like 4 or 5 shows for a week. And flew out to Germany and did all the shows. And the first I got there on my birthday. My first
Mhm.
show was that day, and because I took the red eye, got to Europe at like in Germany at like 9 o'clock in the morning, kicked it with my homies, and then we drove to Cologne, Germany, and that was when I was gonna do my first show, and I was like, man, is this gonna work? Like, is this
Yeah,
gonna
they gonna
work?
get
Like,
it.
yeah, are they gonna
Yeah.
get it? Are they gonna get it? And it was my first show, and it was a small theater. It was Boyne Comedy Club. Manuel Wolf books it, man, great dude. Boyne Comedy Club, maybe 90 seats, old school, low ceilings, straight back too, 5, 5, 5, going straight back, bar at the back, and then just quiet. Nobody sits at the bar. And I was like, is this gonna work? And I was headlining, man, and I came out there and I crushed it, man. I'm not one of them dudes who want to talk about crushing it when I did crush. I crushed
We
it
know that.
because it mattered to me so much.
Yeah.
It mattered to me so much, and I was exhausted from the flight because even though I landed at like 9 in the morning and took a little nap and stuff, I'm beat,
Yeah, you
and I
are.
crushed it. And that was my 40th birthday, and I was like, all right, I really wanted to know, is it going to work in a place where we have some really big cultural differences?
Yeah.
Can I make the vibe work? And the coolest part about it was, uh, I know that they were, because people came after me and they're like, oh, you know, that joke you did, it's different for here because we don't have that. But the vibe worked, you know?
There he
The
goes.
vibe worked.
There
And
it
then
is.
another one, I don't remember what year it was. I think it might have been my 20 or my 30 something birthday. My homeboy Godfrey got married in Mexico, and I'm the one who married them. And I married them the day before my birthday. And then, of course, the reception happened at, everywhere. And then at midnight on the reception, and I didn't tell anybody it was my birthday because I was like, I'm not trying to make this about me. This is, you don't want somebody else's big day to be about you.
Yeah.
And at midnight at their reception, they stopped everything to bring me out a cake, and everybody was partying. They did like a happy birthday for me, and it was just nice, man. Because that was the first time I had married a couple. It was a homeboy of mine who I love. I love his wife.
Nice.
And it was just nice at that moment because I was already having a blast. Like, hey, I was able to marry these two. I'm having a good time. But just to stop for a minute and make it about me, it really did feel real nice. And I don't ever really want things to be about me like that when it's not my turn. But it
Yeah.
was just one of those where it's like, wow, everybody here, they wanted it to be about me. That's what felt nice. They wanted to
That
Yeah.
do
was
something
cool. You
nice
didn't
for me,
ask for it, you didn't pander for it, they gave it to you.
Yeah,
But
because
but
it's their
but
wedding.
imagine this though, Miguel being the chaplain and being like, "Yo, I really love your wife."
Hey,
Think
man.
about your wife, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
You know what I
soft.
like about it though? Besides that butt, I really like.
I married one couple that I have known the wife in the way man knows his wife. Uh,
Oh, in the
and I
biblical
was like,
sense.
and I kept being like, hey man, I was like, don't worry, baby. If he has any doubts, I'm gonna let him know. He don't even know. He don't even know, brother. When I was doing like the counseling, I was sitting with him like, brother, don't worry, because if you get your couple get the Remy in the system, pick one of
Ain't
them
no
bridesmaids,
telling.
her and them on a handstand. Anyway,
Bruh.
I'm glad your
Bruh.
parents are here. Nice
Like
to
the
see
baby
y'all.
video? The girl.
Yeah, yeah. Like they both tried to kick each other and got stuck.
Bro,
Like
God damn. He on one tonight, man.
Oh
like
my
two Liu Kangs
To
God.
Luke.
Yeah. Yeah.
bumping
I got
tacos.
so I got a feeling though, because the show I'm doing Saturday, I'm trying to make it because it's last minute. I'm like, how
Mhm.
can I sell this? And I'm trying to make it like a birthday comedy show.
You should. You
So I
definitely
think if
should,
I
man.
do that, I might, because I got 5 days to push it. Well, whenever the dude send me the flyer, I got 5 days to really push it. So I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do a birthday comedy show.
And what theater is it at? West End Theater?
Yeah, West End Theater in Sanford this Saturday, March 30th. I keep going to the website. The tickets ain't up yet. I don't know what's going on. So hopefully it still happen.
And that's a great spot for
Bro.
comedy, by the
Oh,
way.
it's such a
That's a
great venue.
wonderful spot, man. Oh, and we talked in the last episode about this, but Winter Circle, one of the first comedy venues that let me headline many, 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 many years ago. He wants you to give him a call, Ken. He said you ain't been there in years, man.
Yeah, I know.
Oh wow. Okay, we like that. Okay, all
Yeah.
right, man.
No,
Okay.
it ain't that. It's
I
this.
know. I know.
And I say it because I love him to death. I still
Hmm.
love that dude to death.
Hmm.
I feel like when you're a business owner, I think sometimes you need to take the politics out of your business.
Yeah.
That's
I
just
remember
my
you.
opinion.
I
I could
remember
be
having
wrong.
this
That's just
conversation
my
with you.
opinion.
Okay,
I feel like if
gotcha.
you're a business, Michael Jordan says this: Republicans buy sneakers too.
Amen. Amen.
Democrats eat chicken wings too. You know what I mean?
Amen.
Like, so when you're a business owner, especially a comedy club owner, and a lot of your comedians are African American, and you get on with the, this, that, and I'm like, whoa, dog. Hey,
You
man,
talking specifically about?
just not even just him. I mean,
Mhm.
I gave a club in Tampa. I work. The old owner is super, super. I mean, crazy to the right.
Right wing.
I'm
Gotcha.
talking about crazy, and y'all know us. We don't care who you vote for,
No, we don't.
but he crazy, one of them crazy right wingers. And
Hmm.
I'm like, bro, you book you book black comics, and then I realized he didn't book a lot of black headliners. We could
Mm.
open, we could be features and hosts,
Mm.
but you wouldn't see DL Hughley do that room. So that was
Wow.
my only issue with that booker was,
Hmm.
and like I said, that's just me. I'm not anybody else. You can do whatever you feel. I just feel like when you own a business and you book an African American talent, you got to kind of watch what you say on social media because it's going to kind of affect how we feel about you. And
Gotcha.
that was all my thing with him was. That's
Gotcha.
it.
Yeah. I
I
remember
told
the
him on
incident you're
stage,
talking
Ken.
about.
I know what to expect here. All lives matter, except some lives don't matter. But I get it. I was like,
Yeah.
and
Oh
then I
my
told him,
God.
I was like, I don't even ask how you guys voted. I just want to know, how did you spend your January 6th? I was
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
That he did. He killed him with that
yeah.
one.
And it killed.
Hilarious.
And it
He
killed.
killed. Yeah, he
yeah,
Because that's
killed,
that
bro.
audience. And
yeah.
that's
Yep.
that audience. Yeah.
So don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be right back right here on Real Radio 104.1. It's Real Ass, baby. Everybody, thank you. You are still tuned in to Real Laughs right here on Real Radio 104.1. We are your nightcap of comedy, people. Now, if you're not currently following us on social media, shame on you, man. I need y'all to go to Instagram. I need y'all to go
Go
to
follow us
Facebook.
and get your ass kicked.
That's how we
Shame
do
on you. Tried to run game on you.
it.
Yo. Sorry, James. I got to be more aggressive.
There you go, man. That's how we do call to action, man. If you don't do it, we're gonna whoop your ass. That's
Yeah,
right.
man.
Follow
You
us,
don't
Get
do it,
your
I'm
man.
gonna
ass
send
kicked.
Diddy to your house.
Oh wow.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh
Hey,
you don't
wow.
hey, did you see the new thing? They don't say pause no more.
No.
They say no Diddy.
no Diddy.
Oh, no doubt.
I saw it on Instagram today. Somebody said something. Yo, bro,
Well,
no Diddy,
but
bro.
could I ask a dumb question though? Why are we still pausing in 2024?
We not. We
Dog.
Diddying.
You did it,
Kid,
bro.
yo, don't even worry about it. Yeah.
Bro, that's
Take
funny.
that. Take that.
Dude, I have said this and I mean this. People, our culture,
Yes.
and I mean our culture, Spanish and black,
Yeah.
everything gay besides the actual act of
Act of
being
being
gay.
gay.
Yeah.
Yes, man.
I
What?
could
What?
be like, dog, I love you, bro. Oh, yo, you gay, son.
Yeah.
But they homeboy go to prison and do all kind of gay stuff, man. That's just jail.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's the
hey,
difference,
hey.
man.
Gay for
That's
the
just
stay.
jail.
Gay for the
Yeah.
stay. Hey, bro,
What
that
you
was just for moon pie, son.
yeah, what you eating?
Bro,
I like when you get called out for stuff that's not even like it's like, how is it like what you eating? French onion soup. Ooh, you gay.
bro, you
Have
gay.
you had French onion soup, dog?
Hey, my homeboy asked me something today, and I sent him a screenshot. Oh, we sending screenshots now, bro. You gay? What?
What?
We're
A
giving gay
screenshot?
people so much credit for everything. So they
Yeah.
invented screenshots,
Yeah.
delicious soups.
Soups.
Yeah.
Or if you order a donut, it has like pink sprinkles. Oh, you
Yeah.
gay.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
kiss your
Wow.
homeboy on the lips. You gay, you
Yeah.
know?
Whoa, hey, no Diddy, bro. Hey,
Yeah,
Oh,
no
that's
yo.
Diddy.
funny.
No
Give a dude
Hey, have
one
you
reach
guys ever seen?
around.
Hey, have you ever seen those? They are hilarious. It's like TikToks. Like, hey, what's up, man? I'm gonna show you 3 ways to kiss your homeboys without on the lips without being sus. All right, number one, and then it cuts to the dude looking at you. Why you watching this? You know,
That's actually funny.
That's
That's actually
funny,
very
bro.
funny, man.
which makes it
Uh,
gay because it's the
yeah,
arts.
gotcha. Hey, man, so I'm a little upset about something, man, I couldn't do because of we live in Florida. Let me explain what I mean. Y'all know I love going to theme parks, man. And I
I thought you
got
were talking about
the
get home insurance.
yeah, nah.
Hey,
That's
dog.
funny.
Yo, my mortgage went from $1,200 to $1,480
Yes,
Yeah,
because of my new homeowner's insurance.
yes,
yeah,
yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's how they get you, bro.
yeah, man. This homeowners insurance is wild, man.
Man,
Crazy,
it's
crazy.
I'm not even
I,
gonna insure my place, man. I'm taking the roof off.
damn,
Like, hear me
can't
out.
come in.
I can't pass my roof inspection. Hear me out. No roof.
The roof. I passed, right? There you go, man. Here's the thing I couldn't do, man, because we got so many damn tourists. Y'all realize right now it's spring break. And
spring
spring
Yeah,
break.
break in Florida
right.
is 3 to 4 weeks because we have everybody in America's kids here for this spring break, bro. So
Yep.
all the places I want to go is jam packed. My son works at Universal, and he was like, "Dad, don't even come. You ain't gonna get on no rides.
He hasn't even been
Everything is
home.
set."
He's just in like a makeshift camp. He's like, he got to write you Civil War letters.
Yeah.
Dearest Papa, we are holding the line here at the Transformers experience, but I fear that these northern children will surpass our lines. I will hold the queue, I swear. Give my regards to Mother and my dearest Annabelle. What a time to be alive.
Bro, for real, for real. So I can't go to Universal until I think one more week, and then I can go back because it's just too damn busy to go. I'm not even gonna try Disney. Can you imagine trying to go to Disney right now during spring break too?
Man, I tried to go to Universal this past Saturday, cause we had our nieces
Yeah,
and Dwayne, he was like, bro, don't even come here.
don't even come
He
here.
said, you know what? You ever seen that when DMX did Woodstock?
Yes,
Yeah.
He said,
that's
he said the
funny.
parts look like DMX doing Woodstock. Stop, drop. I'm like,
Drop.
yeah, we're going to see Kung Fu Panda 4, which by the
Yeah,
way, amazing.
it is
I ain't
good.
even seen 2 and 3.
Really,
So you
And
don't even
now,
understand the whole story, the
bro. I
closure.
will tell you this for the. I'll tell you the truth about that movie, bro. That's how me and Jack bonded over Kung Fu Panda. That is like our favorite movie franchise to
bro,
just talk
I
about.
love that. That's such a dad story because the
Yeah,
mom stories like me and Jack bonded the time some kids were mean to Jack in school, and I picked Jack up and we went out and we got root beer floats. We sat down together and we just talked
yeah.
about life. You like me and Jack bonded when we both shut up quietly in a movie theater, not talking to each other, watching Jack Black, and then we make
Oh,
jokes about the movie on the ride home.
bro, but we loved it, man. We would watch it at home. Even at home, we
Yeah.
bought all the movies. We watch them together, man. But this
that's the
fourth one
thing
got
though,
Viola
Jay.
Davis in it, killing it, bro. Even
Viola
as
Davis in it.
that was the chameleon. That's Viola
For
Davis'
real?
voice.
Yo, I'm
Yes.
proud. This how crazy is, man. So, my kids are now 18, 24. And
Yeah.
then Layla Bird is 12.
Yeah.
They don't like the kid movies anymore.
My kids still
So
like
I
them.
got my nieces
There you
who
go.
are 11 and 8. And I said, y'all want to see Kung Fu Panda? Yes. I say, well, there we go.
There you go.
There we go.
You can still
'Cause
see the movies.
I can still see them. But I will tell you this. If you going to a kid movie, be prepared for kids to be there because
Yes,
it
that.
is wild.
Yes.
It's babies crying. It's kids running up and down the aisles.
Sounds like you're in a Walmart or a Spirit
Bro.
flight.
Yep.
Hey,
Hey,
Miguel, and the parents, we're like, it's a kid movie.
we know.
Yeah,
You know.
Because Shaw was like, oh my God, this baby. I said, it's a kid movie.
yeah.
I'm expecting it to be wild.
Yeah, you
Now,
got
if
to.
if we were watching Godzilla versus Kong, then I'd be like, yo, shut that damn baby up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a kid movie. I'm like, I'm expecting it to the point where I get there and I just kind of tune it out.
Tune that
'cause I
out.
know it's gonna be crazy.
Mhm.
That's how I
I
am,
know it's gonna be
guys.
crazy.
When a baby's crying on a plane, I'm like, okay, so what's anybody supposed to do? The
Nothing.
baby has to travel. You can't reason with the baby.
Nope.
This person don't want the baby to cry.
Mhm.
Everybody shut up. There's nothing we can do. That's why I
Nothing.
got Beast by Dre. You
They
know, that's why I took
Noise
care of it.
canceling. There you go, bro. So I'm looking forward to going back to Universal Studios, man. 'Cause that's my spot. I love it. But here's the thing I thought of when I was like, I can't go to Universal Studios because I remember the old days, man. When I used to, they had Nickelodeon there. Y'all remember that? They used to do Nickelodeon
Yeah.
Oh
Studios
yeah,
out there,
it was
bro.
my
Remember that?
dream.
And I actually, when I used to host karaoke out at City Jazz, they would have everybody that worked there, all the kids and stuff like that, would come over. Y'all remember that show Splat they had? Where it was it,
Splat.
it, it was outside. They had its own little. They made it.
At the Universal here?
Yeah, they used to do all the shows here.
It was like
Yeah,
a
for a
lot. Yeah,
while,
Splat. I don't remember
and
Splat. What was
it
it?
was hosted
Game
by
show?
a black dude named Rockman.
Rockman.
Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna
saw.
say no because James, I might have got here a little late for that,
Hmm.
so
But it's
I
like
don't remember that.
2002, I want to say, like three. Well, anyway, he was hosting it. I actually saw him not too long ago, man, at Afro Studios when I still worked there. So it was just kind of crazy. But what got me thinking about Universal and Nickelodeon was, man, I don't know if y'all seen that new doc that dropped.
Bro,
Oh
dude,
yeah.
the Dark Side of Kids
The
TV.
dark, bro. It's crazy because all the shows they talked about, I either watched coming up or my kids was watching those shows, man. And I had no idea some of the foul stuff they had going on at Nickelodeon, bro. It was like a wild, wild west. Like, where was all
Look,
the
that's
adults
the
looking out for
thing.
the
That's the
kids?
thing. The adults were there. They convinced them because, like, I'm gonna use two different things. So when it came to the black kids, the black moms were like, "Dog, you're not about to be with my son or daughter by themselves,"
Yourselves? Yeah,
and
I'm
it
not.
made them
No.
the loud parent. The
Yeah,
white parents, and I'm not throwing a race out there, but the white parents are like, "I don't want to ruin this for you. So what
bro.
do I have to do
Yeah,
in
yes.
order to make sure you become? So I don't want to ruin this for
The
you."
mom said that when the one of the PAs was sending her young daughter pictures of
Emails.
himself.
Yeah.
Bro,
And she said, I didn't want to say nothing because I didn't want to ruin it for you.
You
He
see, they
sent
have
pictures of himself naked to this
his
little girl.
junk. Yo, you ain't seen none of the Spanish parents because they would have been like, "Hey, Papa, take this knife because he might try to rape you."
yeah.
You know.
Hey,
Be ready,
dude.
Papa. Let him know. Let him. You cut his pee off. You cut his pee off. You come see me. But
Bro.
if he's just looking and touching himself, you know, like you figure it out because it's the
Bro.
Amanda Bynes show. That's a good show to be on.
Bro.
Poppy, I'm just
Yo.
saying. If he's
And
just
speaking
touching
of
himself,
her,
yeah,
that explains a lot.
Dude,
yeah.
but what was crazy about it is when it was leading up, everybody was trying to figure out who was the kid that got molested. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Like everybody was trying to figure it out,
Mhm.
and they never thought it was the Josh kid.
So
Yeah.
check it out. So it's kind of wait, we
They-
got
yeah.
to kind of sum up what's going on. The whole documentary is about the dark stuff going on behind Nickelodeon and Dan Schneider, the producer. I don't know if you guys ever watched Head of the Class, audience. Dan Schneider was on Head of the Class, and he became a producer at Nickelodeon. And it first starts off like all documentaries start off like, yo, this guy was
He played
fun.
Dennis.
He got it. He understood how kids worked and stuff. Yeah, that's right, James. He played Dennis. And so and at first the documentary kind of builds on when it starts getting a little dark, it starts building on it was kind of a hostile environment. Like that's what you first start
Toxic.
thinking. So the
Yeah.
way those documentaries work is when you're hearing that at first, all of us are kind of like, oh, that's Hollywood is a little rough. And you're hearing how they told one little girl she was getting too fat. You're like, oh, that's
Yeah.
horrible, but that's Hollywood. And then you're hearing how he kind of was getting rid of some of the actors because they were getting too old. And you're like, ah, man, that's messed up, but that's Hollywood. Then it starts getting to there's like a pedophile working on set. And once again, you're like, hey, how can you stop who you hire? Like this. But then you start seeing how he's treating two of the female writers who they're not even paying them their full money.
Bro, he was paying them. He was taking the salary was say the salary was 75,000.
Yeah.
He said, "Look, y'all got to split that in half."
Yeah.
But some dude that was not a writer, he was like, "Yeah, you get 150."
Yeah, player up top, get that money.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it builds and builds and builds on what you kind of feel is unacceptable. So at the point you're kind of like, oh man, these two women were getting crapped on. This isn't cool, Nickelodeon. You shouldn't have done that. You think that's where your outrage is going to be. I can't believe they doing this to grown ass people who are writing. And then it starts spilling more into stuff going on with the children. And then it starts spilling into inappropriateness with the children. And then it gets to the point where you're like, yo, and like he
This is
said, that you're building
disgusting.
up the whole time. Which one of these kids did he diddle?
Yeah.
And for a fact, you knew it wasn't Pete and Pete because they were about that life.
Yeah.
Try it.
Yeah.
Try it on Pete and Pete.
Hey, it's funny because when my partner was telling me about it coming out, I was like, "Oh, I gotta watch this." So we were like Amanda Bynes,
Mhm.
iCarly.
Mhm.
You know, you're thinking like,
Yeah.
"Oh, it's a girl."
Mhm.
You're thinking it's a young girl, and when it came out to be the Josh kid, right?
Drake
Drake.
kid.
The
Drake
Drake
and
kid.
Josh. Drake from Drake
Yeah,
and Josh.
yeah. And when it turned out to be the Drake, you were like, "What?"
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
he was kind of like the golden boy
Yeah, he was.
for a
Yeah,
long time.
yeah,
And it's
yeah,
horrible. But
yeah,
once again,
man.
you knew it wasn't going to be Pete and Pete. You knew it wasn't going to be nothing about it. Are You Afraid of the Dark Kids?
No,
It wasn't
all
You
gonna be
was-
that.
Keenan and
It
Kel.
wasn't going
Yeah,
to be
what
Keenan
about
and
Keenan and
Kel.
Kel? Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
Keenan and Kel was sitting in the back room doing blow like, he looking at you too? Yeah, he looking at me too. Hey, get up about it. Get up about it.
There you
You
go.
knew, yeah, you knew it wasn't them. You can't do it on television, kids, because they'd be like, the minute he would try to grab them and molest them, they would be like, I don't know, and slime would just come down.
But I will say,
Bro,
man, in all seriousness, one of the darkest, nastiest
Disgusting,
things
man.
that
It's
ever
it's
it's
happened,
it,
bro.
it's sick, bro. Like,
It's sick.
and
Mm,
and the crazy thing is, if you look at child actors, maybe 2% of them move into adult acting and make it.
yeah.
The
maybe.
rest of them are messed up, bro. Like when you watching the documentary, they had them kids working 20-hour days, barely going to
Crazy.
school, couldn't go to prom, couldn't do this, couldn't do that. Like
And you think
it,
about this too. There's got to be a psychological effect to you going to school with all different grades of kids at the same time. So Keenan
you're a
and Kel,
They're
of
senior
not
in
your
high
course,
parents.
school.
he, you,
Hey,
yeah,
you're a senior in high school going to school with a kindergartner.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's got to be an effect to all that. Like
comes
I
weird.
know we're about
Or
to
you
go to
grow up too
break, but
fast.
when we come back from break, I really want to talk about too how many times I feel bad because we look at child actors, we look at they flip out, they get weird and all this stuff, and we're like, that's just Hollywood. It's
No,
not just Hollywood. It's
no.
evil crap happening to them.
Yes.
And I think now our community is getting better at recognizing, hey man, if somebody's wilding out like crazy, let's figure out why they wilding out. Look at Orlando Brown from That's So
I want to
Raven.
talk about him
Yeah.
especially. Y'all don't go nowhere. We'll be right back right here. Real Last Real Radio 104.1. Back, everybody. You are still listening in Real Last right here on Real Radio 104.1. I'm your host tonight, Mr. James John, joined in virtual studio with some really good friends of mine, very funny comedians, Ken Miller and Miguel Colon Jr. We were just talking about a documentary that came out about Nickelodeon in the days of the 90s and the early 2000s. What was it called, Ken? The Dark Side?
It's called The Dark Side of Kids. It's quiet on the set. The Dark Side of Kids TV. You can watch it on HBO Max, YouTube TV, and Fubu TV. It is 4 episodes, 40,
Four episodes, man.
43 minutes each.
And it basically talks about Dan. I want to make sure I get the name correct. Dan Schneider.
Yeah, it talks about Dan Snyder, but when you watch it, Dan Snyder wasn't like
The main
the,
focus.
the main focus of the touching of the kids. Dan Snyder's part was more of the adults, how he treated the adults, how he didn't pay well. He did kind of have an inappropriate relationship with
Amanda
what's
Bynes, it seemed.
Amanda Bynes, and what's the young lady from Sam and Cat?
Oh, Ariana Grande.
Ariana
The
Grande
other
or
one,
the blonde one?
Oh,
the
One that
other
was
one, who
on-
wasn't
Jenny
iCarly.
Jennifer McCurdy.
Yes, because
Yeah.
she didn't show up to anything because they gave him like a lifetime achievement award on the Kids Choice Awards, and she didn't show up. But you got to watch the documentary for that. But
Got it.
his was more of he was just a dictator when it came to
And
that.
he did have some of the kids massaging him on set. Like that's
No,
inappropriate.
okay. So in the early, yes, but most of it was like adults. He would have somebody working there like, hey, who wants to give me a massage today? So it was like somebody
Wow.
like makeup or
Power
wardrobe.
trip.
And
Okay.
yeah, and he came out with a statement like, yeah, I would have did things differently, blah, blah, blah. But everybody comes out with a statement when you're caught.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
When you're caught, yeah. But the two
Absolutely.
guys, well, it was three towards the end, but the two guys that really did the dirt, one was like an acting coach, and the other one was like a PA assistant or something like that. And yeah, because apparently when they are freelancers, they don't do that much of a background check on them.
That's crazy
Yeah,
because they don't work
dude.
for the actual studio.
The one part, man, Miguel, I want to spoil it for you,
No,
man.
no, it's okay. I'm what episode in, but it's
I think
okay.
it's like episode 3 where they talked about the guy who molested Drake, and not the rapper Drake, by the way, just not the
Yeah.
rapper Drake,
I was, I was laughing because I was like, watch, Ken's gonna have to specify it so black people don't get wild.
Yeah.
not the
Yeah.
rapper Drake, yo.
They're like,
Yeah.
oh, thank God. Well, whatever.
Mhm.
But his name is Drake Bell. But so the guy that they used to call the guy Pickle Guy. If you ever watch all that or whatever, he was the guy who walked around with the tray of pickles.
Mhm.
There's a scene where it's so adult. They have a glory hole and they slip a pickle through the glory hole and give it to Ray Romano,
Mm.
who's the guest on that show, who eats the pickle like it's bro. It is.
It's
You have
weird.
to, Miguel. When you get through with it, you'll go see what I'm talking about. They had so much. They had like things where they would, squirt something in a girl's face.
Yeah, and it looked like
Yeah, it was like
yeah.
a
Because here's the
shot.
thing too,
The C
it's
shot.
Nickelodeon. Why can't it just be slime?
Yeah.
Why can't
But
it
that's
just
the
be
thing.
green slime and then it's just slime? Nobody
But
worries
in
about
the,
that.
but yeah, but in the 90s, you're like, okay, because when I'm watching it as a 18,
Yeah,
19, 21, 20, 21, 22 year old, I'm not thinking that.
That.
I'm
yeah,
No, you're
thinking,
not.
oh, she shot yogurt in her face.
yeah,
I'm
Yeah. Yeah.
47.
yeah,
They just showed a documentary. I was like,
Oh, that's
ooh,
disgusting. This is crazy. How can they get
yeah,
away with
I
that?
probably shouldn't have laughed at that.
Yeah,
yeah. This is gonna ruin
absolutely.
my
Yeah,
algorithm.
but the
Bro.
But
Uh-uh.
what happened was the Me Too movement is what really started bringing all of this stuff out. People are more comfortable because back in the 90s, if you sued somebody, you were done.
Yeah, you're out
Yes.
of the
One
industry.
lady
Yes.
sued them and she never worked again.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So back then you couldn't do that, man. But now you're like, look, I can come out here and say, this is what happened to me, and I can continue to work. And that's what a lot of people in the early 90s, mid 90s, even the early 2000s, they were scared that, hey, if I get fired from this, the Dan Snyder guy was like, you'll never work anywhere else again.
You're gonna blackball me.
And
And,
here's
You
the
and,
know what I'm
thing
and
too,
saying?
man. Like you have so much power over a child. One, they just don't have the experience in life to understand. They're the breadwinners for their family now because they're making this Nickelodeon money. And I'm sure tons of them were like, man, I don't want to say nothing and lose this. If the pickle dude wants to just look at me, I'll deal with it. And that's the power that like these child molesters and stuff have over people because these kids are like, well, he ain't raping me. I could
Yeah.
get by. And it's why, and I know this is gonna sound real weird and almost controversial, but it's why things like when you abuse power,
yes.
it's almost just as bad as when you do something really horrible. Like if
Yes.
you abuse your power because you can keep pushing it, and these bad guys who are doing this, it's gonna keep going until they get too far. But if somebody is pulling some, oh, I just want to make these women in the office massage me. Oh, I just want to make these. It's gonna escalate because
Yes,
they're
it is.
just getting more and more power from it. And
Yes.
I do. I gotta watch what I say, man, because I don't want to sound like horrible, but I do worry sometimes when I hear complaints about people on some things. They're like, "Oh, the workplace was hostile." I gotta know what that means because
Yes.
Hollywood
Yes.
is hostile. So, oh, I worked for a jerk. He was loud. He was demanding. These like
Yeah.
that. I'm like, that's hard. But when you explain what the hostile environment was, like these women did, oh, he was making me give him massages.
That's
He
how.
was he was not
Okay,
paying me equal. You know?
so Miguel, military is hostile.
Yes,
Mm.
yes,
That like
Yes.
the drill,
That makes
your
sense.
sergeant, that's a hostile work environment. Why? Because they have to prepare you for war. They
yeah.
have to prepare
Hospitals are
you to go
hostile.
out there. The hospitals are hostile.
Yes.
Something like the military hostile in this environment where this lady said he was like, somebody eat 2 pints of ice cream, I'll give you $300.
Yeah,
And she was broke. So she
yeah.
ate the ice cream and he never paid her.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
He's just
saying?
power tripping. Because
Wow.
entertainment world
Go ahead.
is hostile. Everybody here's been on a set where it's like, hey, shut up. Come on, get moving. Now, give me this guy. Get this. Suck it in. Hey, you got wardrobe people telling you, hey man, you gotta lose weight, bro. Come
Yeah.
on now.
Yeah.
That's hostile. That is
That's hostile.
entertainment. But one, kids shouldn't be subject to any of that.
Yeah.
And
No.
then as adults, you have to make, because I've worked on I've worked on productions where it's everybody shut the F up. Come on, let's move. Hey, stop messing up your effing job. Blah 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 blah.
That's
And that
hostile.
is hostile. But that's part of the
Mhm.
experience of
Dude,
we got to get it done now.
I got an example for you. When COVID happened and they were filming one of the new Mission Impossibles, and there's a video of Tom
Oh yeah,
Cruise
Going off.
going crazy off, but he's trying to, hey man, I got to make sure nobody gets COVID. I
yeah.
got to make sure everything. So hostile environment, but it's hostile to the point where you're like, all right, he might be right, but
it's
not
over
hostile
tomorrow.
to the point where Dan Snyder is like, look, touch my ass and you're gonna get
Yeah.
$500. That
So
you know what I
yeah,
mean? Yeah. So
exactly.
I get what you're saying.
Bro.
Yeah, that's why I want to know, because it's so easy to wipe hostile underneath the rug and be like, hey, welcome to the big leagues. Sports is hostile.
Yeah. Sports is hostile.
But like you said, Ken, there's a difference between hostile and abusive.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Now here's
Yeah.
the thing that
Hey, James being
go.
married to a Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
That's
Hostile.
hostile.
All
Yeah.
time, bro, all day. Even when
But
I'm
this was
asleep, bro.
abusive environment
Bro.
where
Yeah. Me being married to a black woman, abusive as hell.
And I've seen people comment the same way I'm about to. What tripped me out the most was, as parents, why did we turn a blind eye to certain
Dude,
things?
but that's the thing, James. When you watch it, like I'm gonna take Drake. I'm gonna use Drake Bell's dad.
Mhm.
Drake Bell's dad
He did the
saw
right
everything.
thing.
He was like, "Yo, like," but the guy, the rapey guy, was like, "Drake, your daddy is still like he manipulated a
Yeah.
kid.
Got in
The
his
kid
head.
don't know no
Yeah.
better. So when the mom took over, the mom was like, "All right, do whatever you got
Wait,
to
wait,
do
wait.
with him."
Don't skip over. You skipped over a little something. This guy was so manipulative and just so shisty. He convinced Drake Bell to emancipate himself. He was trying to get him
Yeah.
to emancipate himself.
And then when you look at the records, it doesn't even show that the daddy did nothing wrong.
Nothing.
Yeah.
They proved
Nothing.
it was proved that his dad wasn't stealing money
Yeah.
and that he didn't do anything wrong.
so
Yeah.
they tried to get him to emancipate by saying your dad's stealing money from
Yep.
you and stuff.
Yep. So
Yeah.
then
But
Drake
but
went
yeah,
with
you
his
got when you
mom,
watch the rest of
Yeah.
it, Miguel, you'll
and his
see it.
and his mom wasn't
And it
involved.
tore up the relationship between the dad and Drake because his daddy had full custody of him after
Yeah.
a divorce with the mama.
Yeah.
And so it messed their relationship up. Now they cool now. He's going through therapy. But you look at everybody in it. All the black kids are like, yo, I had to go to therapy.
Yeah.
The one young lady we were talking about that was Amanda Bynes before Amanda Bynes.
Yeah.
The same with her. She was like, look, man, I'm trying to get my life. Like, dude, like
Yeah.
they're
I think-
kids.
I think one of the biggest like come ups we have as a society now is that we started to recognize, yes, the trauma you dealt with as a kid has echoing effects as an
It
adult.
bubbles.
Now, I think we all know everything isn't trauma.
No.
But when there is trauma, there's trauma.
Yeah.
Like
Hey.
people think, oh, you lost your daddy in a fire, but you were only 8 years old. You got to just deal with it. Hey, man, that's gonna ripple in effects.
Dog,
follows
hey,
you.
Miguel, 100%. So when I started going to therapy, when you have a traumatic event in your life, your mind sometimes is stuck at that age.
Yeah.
Mine was 5 years old when my mama died.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know
Yeah.
that. I've been arguing with somebody on Facebook for 2 weeks about how I don't believe in whooping kids. Because but okay,
Especially coming from where we come from,
Yeah.
people
a
gonna
spanking,
take that as a
okay, I
hot
get a
take.
spanking, but you got to beat me with an extension cord, an
Yeah.
iron, a racetrack.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Yo, you ever
With a
got
Hot
beat
Wheels
with
track.
a whole
Hot Wheels track.
you got beat with a whole apartment? My mama threw an apartment on me, bro.
Hey, there was somebody in it too. Like, hey,
That's
come
hey.
on, Ruthie. I'm trying to make food here. You got
Or these parents who whoop their kids and put it on the internet for everybody
That's
to see.
why.
I'm like,
See, I don't get
I'm like,
that.
y'all
That's
don't
wild.
understand the trauma
Yeah.
of a kid that young going through something like this.
and I'm not a parent, so I try to stay out of stuff like this because I don't know how I'm gonna be when I meet my kids one day. But I know that damn boy, you look just like me. But
That's funny.
I tell you this, I know that hitting and spanking your child, I know that there's difference between spanking and whooping and beating. Like I
There
said,
is.
I was never
There
beat. I
is a
was never
difference.
beat. I knew kids
Mm.
that were beat, closed
Yeah.
hands, beat. Like horrible
Hmm.
parents. I never. My parents never. I got
Hey,
spanked and whooped, man. I got spanked and whooped all the time. But I also know that there are parents that humiliate their children too, and
bro.
that's a lot, man. That's a
It
Hey,
lot
is.
hey,
too.
Miguel, and real talk. I ain't never whooped Ken that hard. He
Oh
lying.
wow.
He
Wow.
lying. I ain't never put my hands on that boy. Okay, 2 times I
Okay.
beat
Hey,
him.
you know what you should do before you whoop your kids now? Instead of putting baby powder on your hands, put Ruthie May on your hands.
Yeah.
Bro, when I went to therapy, I know we got 2 minutes left. I went to therapy, and one of my things was to write a letter to my dad and mom
Mhm.
about my childhood. I didn't. I called them. And I told my mama how I felt. I say,
Mhm.
hey, a lot of that stuff was a little uncalled for. And I make this joke about when I say my mama said she didn't know any better. That's
Mhm.
facts.
That
Yeah.
yeah.
She says, Kenneth, baby, I love you. I'm sorry. I raised you the best that I could. I didn't know any better. That's how I
I
was
was
raised. That's how
raised.
I
Yep.
was whooped. That's how
Yeah.
I was disciplined. My dad, the same way. He's like, Kente, yo, man, the
Yeah.
drugs and the alcohol is the reason I wasn't around. I'm sorry, baby. And I said, I forgive y'all and moved on. But
Just
I
hearing that
know
helps you move on.
but I know I wouldn't do it to my kids.
And
Nope.
Ken,
And that's what I'm happy about.
I think another thing people got to get is it is really cool the way your parents reacted, because I think it's important to understand I'm not criticizing you. I got to do this for me.
Mhm.
I love you, and I know that you never didn't love me. I
Mhm.
know that you loved me my whole life.
Mhm.
I just got to, for me, say this, and we're gonna move on. And for your parents to be like that was real cool. That for
Bro,
your
it
for
was the
your
best thing.
healing,
It
that
was
was
the
that
best
that
thing
shows
for my
just how
healing.
much they love you. That
It
they
was
were
the best.
like,
It was the best thing, Miguel. Seriously,
yeah,
I mean that for my healing. It really
I'm
was.
gonna say this before we have to go, guys. Get like 25 seconds. In our community, and I'm talking about brown people, we don't put enough stock in therapy, and it's something that my family's gone through and has helped tremendously.
we used to
Bro,
make
for
fun
So
of white
real.
people for it. We used to make fun of white people for it, and
yes,
that's
we
so
did.
sad.
Yes,
We'd
we
be like,
did.
look at them
Yes,
talking
we
it
did.
out until they love each other.
Hey, this my therapy here. Talking to y'all.
Yeah,
Hey, y'all.
Bruh, what we do on stage is
yeah.
therapy, man. Absolutely, man.
Real,
Thank y'all
bro.
so
Sometimes
much.
I'd be in the bedroom working it out. I'm like, you broke all my Tonka trucks. She's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, just shut up. I'm not with you right now. I'm somewhere else.
God damn
Hey,
it, Miguel.
Somewhere else
All
right
my
now.
Tonka trucks.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to go get something to eat now?
I didn't even
Okay,
know you liked to get choked. I was just doing that.
that's right. Hey, man, if we don't get canceled, thank y'all so much for tuning in, man. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow. Follow us on social media. On behalf of myself, James John, Ken Miller, and Miguel Colon Jr. Ken, tell them what to do.
take your ass to bed. It's my birthday, bitches.
Happy
There you go.
birthday.
Happy birthday.